I'm seeing flakes in my water. What is that? What can I do about it? And how can I avoid this from happening again?
I'm John Keirstead from Arctic Spas. We got a couple of interesting questions that showed up on the online. One of them was about flaking. I'm seeing little flakes of stuff showing up in here. There's different types of flaking, obviously. One of the most common, of course, is scale, any sort of scale, and that usually can cause cloudy water. A lot of times those flakes start off really small, and so it doesn't look like there's any flakes in the water, and then over time they build up on the inside of your plumbing, on the edge of your spa, and on the jets and fittings and stuff like that, and the scale will start to build up on there, and then after, with the water movement and stuff like that, the scale lets go and you get these flakes floating through your water. Those flakes are often because your pH has gotten too high. And so a couple of things you can do to deal with that types of flakes. Number one, I recommend you use a stain and scale remover. Even using the stain and scale removers, most of them are acids. So even when you use your pH decreaser, like on the saline systems that we use, adding a little bit of the pH decreaser to keep your pH lower will make sure that you don't get scaling happening as much, because your pH usually has to get above 8 before that scaling happens. So if you want to decrease the amount of times, and it will dissolve some of the stuff, once it's actually precipitated and you have a scale, it can actually be quite hard to remove. And so that's where a cleaning vinegar with a microfiber cloth can really help there. If you have the precipitate and it's not dissolving when you use the best defense, because that's kind of a before thing, to prevent scaling and stuff from happening. What if the scale already happens and I have that in the water already? What can I do? If it's floating around the water, actually the Easy Clear or some of the Sea Clear is a natural product that causes little bits to stick together and make your filter work better. The one thing I caution people to do is that this stuff really will collect in your filter, and it can clog your filter up really, really quickly. But I often take those out. I use a rescue bag, and then I'll do it, or I actually just overdose it with the Easy Clear or Sea Clear, and then I have a video of me vacuuming it out, because it'll actually all collect on the top as a foam, and you can tell it's a kind of a chalky like foam that appears on top, and you can vacuum that out and get it out of the water. That's probably the best there. Now there is another thing I saw online. The flake that they showed me was not actually a flake. It almost looked like skin. It's a filmy type stuff, and that's biofilm, right? And again, it collects on the inside of your hoses and stuff like that. Sometimes if you feel a slipperiness on the edge of your spa, right? And that happens usually because the spa is stagnated in some way, or some part of zone of the spa has stagnated. Water sits, and then bacteria will put this shield up, and then this shield is literally like a film. And that film, when you turn your jets on, suddenly that film gets in there, and you got these things that look kind of like amoeba, floating around in your spa. So again, the key with that is increase your filter cycle. Water doesn't stagnate when it's moving. Right? So if you keep the water moving, even slowly, you'll have less issues with that. I think that's it. Thanks for watching the video.